When conventional military forces push into a dense urban grid, they are often swallowed up by an environment hiding the exact threats they must eliminate. In the contemporary operating environment of 2006, the reality on the ground was clear. Insurgent networks avoided force-on-force engagements. They prioritized concealment, blending directly into the civilian population. Because of this, traditional metrics of military supremacy, massed firepower, and linear maneuverability lose their effectiveness. You cannot destroy a target you cannot isolate. To maintain combat effectiveness in this environment, a military has to re-engineer its tactical and institutional architecture in real time, building on three distinct pillars simultaneously. The first pillar is a pivot in infantry doctrine that prioritizes intelligence gathering and reconnaissance. The second is tactical technology, deploying highly specific hardware to solve the immediate physical and environmental hurdles of asymmetric combat. And the third is institutional regeneration, overhauling the logistical pipeline to prevent a complete loss of unit experience during the reset phase. Winning requires a force to operate as an adaptive learning engine, fighting a war abroad while restructuring its organizational foundation at home. This photograph illustrates the core of the doctrinal pivot. As directed by the commandant of the infantry school, the absolute primary mission of the modern infantryman shifted to finding the enemy. This was a massive operational realignment. By the end of fiscal year 2007, nearly one-third of all maneuver battalions had target acquisition designated as their primary objective. Executing this task requires navigating incredibly diverse terrain, tracking individuals from isolated mountain ranges down into densely packed major urban centers. Effective intelligence gathering at this level demands deep cultural awareness. Units have to map local social and economic routines to recognize patterns and spot anomalies. It also requires leveraging any available linguistic skills. Leaders are tasked with identifying soldiers with even marginal fluency in Arabic, Kurdish, or Pashto to intercept threat indicators from casual street conversations. To support this shift, the Army rapidly expanded and updated institutional training, specifically the Reconnaissance and Surveillance Leaders Course, or RSLC. The new RSLC curriculum leaned heavily into technological integration, focusing on the employment of small unmanned aerial vehicles and tactical camera kits for imagery collection. Driven directly by feedback from theaters in Iraq and Afghanistan, they also integrated foreign alphabet training and advanced sniper interdiction techniques. This image captures the ground-level application of the FIND doctrine. Soldiers had to transition from a highly mobile mindset to conducting constant, tense surveillance from static positions. In counterinsurgency, raw firepower is entirely dependent on the preceding intelligence phase. Without mastering the FIND capability first, conventional forces are fighting blind. Supporting this new doctrine required the second pillar, fielding novel microtechnologies designed to enhance both perception and operator survivability. This diagram shows the DARPA radar scope, developed as a technological solution to the extreme danger of urban room-clearing operations. It uses a radar wave to penetrate up to 12 inches of concrete and detect movements as small as human breathing on the other side. Weighing just 1.5 pounds and costing around $1,000, it gives a squad the ability to verify room occupancy within seconds prior to breaching. But beyond just locating the enemy, the Army had to sustain the physical capacity of soldiers operating in extreme, hostile environments. The addition of heavy armor kits to HUMVWs operating in desert theaters created a severe environmental hazard. With the doors closed, temperatures inside the vehicles routinely exceeded 130 degrees. The Tank Automotive Research, Development, and Engineering Center engineered a specific solution, the microclimatic cooling garment. The system consists of water-filled vests worn underneath a soldier's body armor. Fungicide-treated liquid is chilled by the vehicle's air conditioning system and circulates through the garment to keep the operator's core temperature down. They also addressed cognitive sustainment. To maintain vigilance during continuous operations, the Army deployed caffeinated gum, which absorbs through the tissues in the mouth 4 times faster than a pill. Tactical success in the COE relied on the shift toward microengineering, deploying specialized tools designed to optimize the limits of human perception and endurance. However, the advantages gained by these new doctrines and technologies face a severe structural threat upon returning home. The moment a specialized unit, like a Stryker Brigade combat team, returns from a successful deployment, it undergoes a mandatory process known as unit reset. As this chart illustrates, the reset triggers a catastrophic knowledge drain. Up to 80% of a unit's experienced leadership permanently change station and leave the brigade. The incoming replacements arrive with diverse backgrounds in light, heavy, or airborne infantry, but they possess near-zero specialized Stryker or digital warfare experience. This creates an urgent bottleneck. The Army's Training and Doctrine Command, or TRADOC, had to invent a fast-track institutional solution to rebuild this highly specialized combat readiness before the next deployment cycle. Their solution was the Leader Conversion Training Program. This diagram shows how the program acts as a knowledge funnel. It begins with the university phase, a 3-day baseline orientation on Stryker Brigade capabilities. From there, it feeds into a 10-day senior leaders course aimed at battalion staffs and a 7-day tactical leaders course designed specifically for company and platoon-level leadership. To further reduce logistical friction during the reset period, the Army utilized mobile training teams. Acting as an expeditionary branch of TRADOC, these teams bring vital force multiplier skills, like sniper and javelin training, directly to a unit's home station, bypassing the time and expense of sending soldiers away to school. Ultimately, the actual operational readiness of a specialized unit depends entirely on the speed and efficiency of its institutional retraining cycle, rather than its past performance in theater. This image of a Stryker vehicle navigating a complex urban environment represents the physical nexus of all 3 pillars of adaptation. It is the result of a complete operational loop. Institutional training supplies the personnel, who are equipped with specialized technology, to execute an intelligence-driven urban doctrine. Military supremacy in asymmetric warfare is highly perishable. It cannot be maintained through inertia. It requires constant, active institutional maintenance. The effectiveness of a modern combat formation depends on its capacity to function as a continuous learning engine, simultaneously disrupting insurgent networks abroad and regenerating its tactical foundation at home.